Welcome back, Truth Seeker. Sorry for the delay. Right when I was about to go live, baby duty called. But yeah, the big story this morning, January 3rd, 2026, 1 3, the 13 stripes, the United States of America playing Team America World Police again, reportedly bombing an airbase and capturing Maduro and flying him back to New York City, where he will be indicted for drug trafficking charges. And this is days after the CIA bombed in Venezuela, an organization notorious for drug trafficking. And what I want you to see is just how perfect this ritual is. It ties in with the phrase, the world is a stage. It ties in with the phrase, your number's up. As we'll see, the new president of Venezuela, well, she just happened to become vice president on Donald Trump's birthday. That was back on June 14th, 2018, his first installation as the puppet president of the United States of America. And again, it's not just that Venezuela is getting a new puppet president. We've always had him here for as long as any of us have been alive. People need to wake up to the New World Order, which presidents here in this very country, the United States, have spoken about. The New World Order is a real thing, and we figured out what runs it. It's the Jesuits who serve the Pope. Again, you're going to see how today's rituals perfectly synced with the Pope. For those of you guys who need to get caught up, again, earlier this year, or I guess last year already, on Rome's birthday, Pope Francis, the first Jesuit Pope, died. And that was the 312th day of Trump's age after he got a fake 312 electoral college votes in the rigged selection. And then we got the first ever American Pope from the 312 area code, Chicago. And you're going to see just how perfect this whole ritual is synced with the Pope and also the Superior General, the leader of the Jesuits, who just happens to be from Venezuela. Of course, for now going on years, we've been having all this made-up news involving Venezuela and Tren de Aragua. All of this stuff is total bullshit. They said the Venezuelan Tren de Aragua member who killed Hope Lake and Riley was the event that got Trump reelected. Again, all of this stuff is staged, managed crap. And again, you can see through it if you just learn the most elementary thing in the world. The ABC123 numerology, aka Gematria code. Again, this is what Freemasonry is based in. Freemasonry is what founded the United States of America. And again, Freemasonry is a creation of the Jesuit order who run, the puppet strings on that. So here, let's just go through it from top to bottom and see how perfect it is. And we'll recap all the drug boat crap and the pirate antics of taking over the Venezuelan oil tankers and the CIA drone bombing. We'll get it all caught back up, but let's start right here. Today is 111 days after the Pope's birthday, and he just happens to be the first American Pope. And realize it wouldn't matter if he was in America or in any other part of the world, it would still be the same. But yes, 111 days after his birthday, the 13 stripes on 1-3 are bombing away. And by the way, this military base we bombed, it's the same place that was bombed when the coup happened in Venezuela. They got, not Maduro, but Hugo Chavez taken out of power for 47 hours. Look it up. That's how it goes down in the history books, that he was removed from power for 47 hours. And now number 47 is doing the same thing 47 days after Pam Bondi's birthday. Pam Bondi, however you want to say it. But yeah, 111 days, okay? You see it? 111. 111. Venezuela, 111. Where's he being flown to, Maduro? New York, Donald Trump's hometown, 111. Remember when the CIA blew up the towers and started a 20-some-year war that ended on the Jesuit order's birthday? That was just a few years ago with Biden. Yeah, it was the Jesuit order's birthday, August 15th, where it finally ended. But again, September 11th, the day leaving, 111 days left in the year. Big numbers there in New York. Don't forget how much money we made off the Mets when they won the pennant and went to the 111th World Series that ended on Matt Harvey's 111th pitch on November 1st. Anyway, the point is all this stuff is rigged, scripted, and connected, from the World Series, where there's a lot of Venezuelan players in the MLB, to this. I don't know what it's going to take for people to wake up because this is what your government does every day, every single day. And your government is not sovereign. It's controlled by this very Catholic organization, thus all the Roman architecture. I don't know how many times I can explain the same things. You guys, the capital of the United States of America, it didn't start in Washington, D.C., and we're going to get to that too with the new president who studied in Paris, France, who's 56 years old right now. Uh, if the big tit bimbo is out there watching, the new president is age 56. We'll come back to that part. If you're not the big tit bimbo, you might be confused. You might be new here. But of course, I do have books and it can get you all caught up to speed. These Jesuits, they do all their major rituals around certain numbers like 56. So your new president is 56 years old. But yeah, have we established why it matters that today's 111 days after the Pope's birthday as Team America World Police goes into Venezuela and flies their puppet leader up to New York? Have we got that part down? Okay, next piece. The leader of the Jesuits, the Superior General, also known as the Black Pope, today is 52 days after his birthday. Again, he's the Venezuelan. Remember, the whole Charlie Kirk hoax is synced up with Arturo Sosa, the 31st Superior General. Charlie Kirk supposedly killed at 31, even though there's no proof he died. An unmarked grave loaded into an SUV. A big pump on the chest that looked like a Hollywood action pack as a overdramatic squirt flies out, and then there's no more blood, and all the people who carry him away are bone dry with not a drop of blood on them. Doesn't make any sense, but all the dopes fall for it. Anyway, the reason I'm bringing this up too is because remember Erica Kirk, the worst actress in the history of the world, who's got more lines than anybody's ever heard in their lifetime. On the Superior General's anniversary of being installed, October 14th, which is also Charlie Kirk's birthday, she got that Medal of Freedom with a big Catholic cross on it. Anyway. And notice all the controlled opposition, they're all Catholic, from Candace Owens to the rest of them, and they're all blaming Israel. Like, okay, here's Israel, little tiny dot, almost a microscopic flea. And here's the Roman Catholic Church, which pretty much owns the world. I wonder which one's actually running things. Are we on the Jews calendar? What year are the Jews in right now? They're like almost in year 10,000. Meanwhile, here we are on the Jesuit Catholic calendar, where it's the new year according to them, and it's 2026, and you can't figure out who's running the show. We're literally on the Catholic Church's time. That's why all the rituals are synced up perfectly with them. And by the way, didn't these Jesuits implement a 52-week calendar for the Pope? Isn't that exactly what it is? And here we are 52 days after the Black Pope's birthday. Anyway, 52 days, right? But here, let's also get technical. Let's get a little more technical. From November 12th, 2025, his birthday, to today is 52 days. And by the way, isn't 52 divisible by 13? Because again, it's 1, 3. And we're going to get to the 13 thing a little bit more. But you could also say today is the 53rd day of his age, if you count the span of days. If you count November 12th, it's 52 days after November 12th. Or if you include November 12th, it's the 53rd day of his age. Why do I bring that part up here? Because where are they today? Aren't they in Caracas? If you're new here, these are the 4 base ciphers of the English language. They're all based on the alphabetic order. It is the alphabetic order. A is 1 up to Z is 26. You can see the chart right down here. It's the alphabetic order with numerology applied. You can still see we're counting up 1 through 9, but when we get to J, the 10th letter, we just take the numerology of 10. 1 plus 0 is 1. K, the 11th letter, is 1 plus 1 is 2. L, the 12th letters, 1 plus 2 is 3, all the way up to Z, the 26 letters, 2 plus 6 is 8. We're just making each letter a single-digit number. There's the reverse alphabetic order. It's interesting because Chicago, I see some Chicago overlap here in light of the Chicago Pope now that I think about it. And the reverse alphabetic order with numerology. So it's also the 53rd day of the Superior General's age as we bomb Caracas. And in light of it being synced up with the Chicago Pope, notice how Chicago and Caracas, they even kind of sound the same, don't they? Chicago, Caracas. But yeah, similar numbers. Probably not an accident because the rituals are this thought out. So anyway, all right. So we've covered the Pope and we've covered the Superior General. Okay, we're going to get all the characters involved here. Now, how about poor Maduro? Poor Maduro. Time's up. From his birthday to today's 41 days. Team USA got him 41 the 13th prime on 1-3. Just a few days ago, the CIA was bombing. You see how CIA's 13, 13, 68, 23 in the base ciphers? Notice Maduro's birthday is the 23rd. If you're new here, the 68 number, I mean, you could write, I've already written a book about it here, a book about it here. But this stooge that we have in office, this orange clown. By the way, you guys, I told you I was watching Home Alone. When it finished, it went into Home Alone 2. You know how Donald Trump appears in Home Alone 2? You know, right at the beginning of that movie, Macaulay Culkin gets a Donald Duck gift, and then behind that gets a clown mask. And, Donald Trump appears into that movie. Donald Duck toy, clown mask. Anyway, Donald John Trump, 68. The Apprentice, 68. And we just had the nice Mar-a-Lago, all the Mar-a-Lago crap. Mar-a-Lago, 68. It drives me nuts that things are this choreographed and planned out in advance. But they were telling us all along, just wait until your president's an orange quacking duck and a clown. Okay, so anyway, 41 the 13th prime. It's 1-3. It couldn't be any more obvious what's going on here. All right, let's continue on. So Derek has mutilated his calculator, so I'm just going to show you on mine. The new president, she's got Spanish letters in her name. And these Spanish letters, they're not part of the English alphabet, right? So they count as null values. The I with the nice, spicy, whatever that thing is, because I haven't taken Spanish class since 8th grade. I can't remember what it's called. But it makes it a null value. So instead of I typically being 9, it becomes 0. And when Derek first set up his calculator, Derek built his calculator in tribute to my work. He had them as null values, and it showed up nice and plain, and it made sense. But now if you count as null values, you see what Derek's now done? He made it so it shows up like this, which just looks dumb, because now it looks like you're trying to manipulate, which you're really not. You're just counting it the way it is. So anyway, I just went back to my calculator where you can still see her name, the new president. This is the new president, Delcy Aloyna Rodriguez Gomez. Her name literally equals Central Intelligence Agency, but that's not all, you guys. We're gonna hit the rest of this. It's amazing how perfect it is. And remember, she was installed as the VP on Donald Trump's birthday, June 14th, 2018, meaning that this theater show was planned out, well, really even longer ago than that. But when she was put in, this date was all planned out a long time ago. And you guys are new here. This have been saying for a long time. The world is a stage. These people are just taking us through the motions. They need all these stories and narratives. Half the dopes that live in this country, they're going to think this is awesome. They're going to be ready to send in their taxes so that we can go blow up another country and say it was in the name of American freedom and spreading democracy and fighting bad guys. Meanwhile, all the real villains are here in this country. We are the villains. We are the biggest pushers of the drug war in the world. Not the drug war, excuse me. We're the biggest pushers of drugs across the world. Like after we blew up those towers in September back in 2001, and then we went in and killed the Taliban and brought back all the opioid production, and the next thing you knew, there was an opioid crisis across the world. And lately, you got the orange clown in office saying things like, we're putting tariffs on the world because they're bringing fentanyl here. Like, yeah, okay. Like we're not the biggest pushers of fentanyl across the world. Okay. But yeah, anyway, her name, I know it looks dumb with Derek's calculator because Derek's done all these dumb improvements that aren't improvements, but that's what her name looks like when you take out the Spanish characters. Can you see the 117 and 99? If you guys don't know, the United States of America equals 99. It was named that on September 9th, 1776, 99. But when you spell out 13 as a word, just for the record, it's also 99 and 117. Again, this 13 is big with the country. It's big with the day being 1-3. It's big with the CIA. Again, it's 41 days after Maduro's birthday, the 13th prime. USA, the land of 13 stripes. And by the way, about the Jesuits, right here. How long did the Jesuit suppression last? The United States of America was formed in the time of the Jesuit suppression. So was the Illuminati. The Illuminati was founded by the Jesuit Adam Weishaupt. And by the way, the new president, her name literally equals Bavarian Illuminati. I didn't even put that up there, but you can check that out for yourself. Remember, the Illuminati was founded with 13 families. The Jesuit suppression lasted 41 years, okay? The USA was created in the time of the suppression. And bear with me because I need another cough drop because I'm still getting over this crap. I'm sick for the first time in about 5 years. Okay. Now, it gets even better, right? It gets even better because this lady's birthday is May 18th, which is funny for all kinds of reasons. But notice today is 135 days before her birthday. Wow, 135. What's Central Intelligence Agency equal? Again, it equals 117 like her full name, and it equals 135 when you run it in reverse. For the big tit bimbo who couldn't get it through her head why we do it forwards and backwards, even though I explained it 5,000 times, is that making more sense today? 117, 135. Where have I seen these numbers before? Oh, all over the place. Remember when they installed Gina Cherry Haspel in a 135 ritual? She was one of the recent CIA directors. And you remember when Eminem did the Darkness music video that asked people to turn in their guns, and then it showed room 135? On and on and on and on and on. But think about how perfect this is. Just think about all the layers of perfection here. Her being installed as the VP on Trump's birthday. Her birthday, May 18th, which is the 138th day of the year, like Donald Trump equals 138, et cetera, et cetera. Where did I put it in the wrong spot? Where did my screenshots go? Huh? Did I not put my screenshots in here? Huh. What in the world? I could have sworn I put it in here. All right, here. This is weird. I totally remember doing this. What in the world? I'm a little bit dumbfounded by that. Unless I put them in the wrong spot. Maybe I put them down below. There's a lot more to go over. Yeah, I did get them in here. Her birthday, you guys, May 18th. May 18th is the 138th day of the year. And, this is the Donald, he's going to be taking all kinds of credit for this. So he went in and got a horrible drug dealer. He got him out of here. And now we got a new, of course, she's going to be just the most honest CIA puppet there ever was. All problems solved. But yeah, the 138th day of the year, Donald Trump 138 federal. Don't forget the Jesuit order's birthday, August 15th. That's the day leaving 138 days left in the year. What's the one conspiracy researcher that blames everything on Jews? He's got a really funny voice. Can't think of his name. One of my guys is always calling and telling I got to work with him. And it's like, why do I want to work with this guy? He has no conclusions on anything. He thinks Jews run the world, which is totally dumb. And he can't figure out what the 138 means, but he knows 138's really... It's funny. His whole research is about 138, but he doesn't know what it means. Like, I heard the Misfits song, We Are 138. Like, what it means is the people who gave you... And what's funny is he doesn't even know who the Jesuits are. He's like looking at the calendar every day. Somehow he's amassed hundreds of thousands of followers. They just like listening to a guy with a really funny sounding voice who doesn't know who implemented the calendar, who just talks about 138 all the time, but doesn't know what it means. It's like, that's why shit's annoying. It's like, okay, so a guy who can't tie his shoelaces, who can't put 2 and 2 together. This is how you get a following? Let's focus on a number every day, but not know what it means. It means Jews. It's like, no, that's not what it means. No, it means Jesuits, moron. August 15th, the day leaving 138 days left in the year. Anyway, let me come back up here. We got ahead of ourselves. Well, sort of. Okay. Where we go? By the way, you see how Maduro, after they got rid of Chavez, remember Chavez said the U.S. CIA had a cancer weapon and then died of cancer. But Maduro was installed on April 19th. And of course, there's another world leader in focus right now that Donald Trump's also threatening. And his birthday just happens to be April 19th. And he happens to lead a country that the CIA overthrew in the 50s. Was that 1953? Remember that the CIA overthrow of Iran began on the Jesuit order's birthday, August 15th. We are 138. Now, hold on. CIA overthrow of Iran. Yeah, it was in 53. That's kind of interesting because today is the 53rd day of the Superior General's Age and Caracas is 53. But you see how it began on August 15th? August 15th, 53, the CIA, the Catholics in Action, the CIA that was established in tribute to the Pope and the Superior General back then. Here, if you don't know, Jesuit order, August 15th history. Hold on. I might have to hurry up and finish real quick. Okay. All right. All right. We got to finish up here pretty quick. But yeah, August 15th is the day in history the Jesuit order was born. Day of high rituals across the world. And part of the reason they send you to slave school, you guys, is so that you don't really know anything about anything that matters. You get your head all filled with history that doesn't really matter. It's a bunch of bullshit. It's supposed to it's meant to make you think your nation's the greatest, your flag's the greatest, your cultural traditions are the greatest. But you don't learn about who really owns your nation and who conquered you and why they have you believing all the bullshit you do. Go across this world. Nobody knows about who the Jesuits are. Most Catholics don't even know who the Jesuits are. They're the people ruling over your ass every day. But anyway, April 19th, about him being installed on April 19th and this guy being installed and his birthday is April 19th. That's the day in history that Ignatius of Loyola became the first superior general of the Jesuits. And, here in the United States of America, that's when our revolution began, when we supposedly got free, which we never did. There's no free here, freedom. Again, this language they gave us, dumb. You got to be dumb to think you're free. There's no freedom. There's just dumb, 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 and dumber and dumber and dumber. And just everywhere you look, it's a bunch of fat, dumb losers for the most part in this country that thinks it's so great. Anyway, April 19th, that's the big day. That's the day that we got the first superior general recognized by the Roman Catholic Church. All right. By the way, about Team America World Police, today has 50 date numerology. America equals 50, like Donald, our CIA puppet leader. As I've explained a gazillion times, 11 is so important to this satanic cult. And notice they're going to address what happened today at 11 a.m. Eastern time while Maduro is in jail in New York, the 11th state. If you've never seen Rosemary's Baby, which came out in 68, it's about, the satanic controlling cabal and how they do everything around 11, 11, 11, 11, 11. So it's just like how Trump runs on MAGA, the highest degree of the Church of Satan. And it's not an accident. You can go back and look at when Obama told us that Trump would be the 45th president on the 45th birthday of the Church of Satan. That was April 30th, 2011. Of course, Barack means lightning, and Satan comes to earth in a bolt of lightning in Luke 10:18. Now they install Mamdani with a 10:18 birthday and similar tribute to what they did with Obama. Notice the Mamdani election date was November 4th, just like the first Obama election date, November 4th. Like there's 114 surahs in the Quran. But then, of course, Mamdani and Trump, they go and act like they're best buddies. Okay. So yeah, they're going to address the nation at 11 a.m. because what other time would they do it? People sit around and go, numerology, that's dumb. Is it? Because your government uses it every day. 11's the master number. That's what happens with these free dumb people. They're too dumb to see the repetitive patterns that take place literally every single day. They're so dumb they can't catch on to what happens every day. Now, how about Pam Bondi, the dumb blonde? How about her? Sorry, blonde people. Not all blondes are dumb, but this one is. From her birthday to the big accomplishment for number 47 just happens to be 47 days. Hey, what year was the CIA established? Was that in 47? As we talked about, these numbers are peas in a pod, 47 and 52. Remember, it's 52 days after the Superior General's birthday. But president has the 4752. So does White House. So does government. So does authority. That list goes on. The cabal, on and on and on. And, let's not forget this just days ago, right? when the CIA seized the oil of Venezuela on the 18th day of Hugo Chavez's age, and you can see how oil and IHS overlap perfectly. IHS is the acronym in the Jesuit Order's logo. On the 18th day of his age, we're taking their oil, and apparently Venezuela is 18th in the world, according to Wikipedia, for oil production. And, it's 28 days from the Superior General's birthday. There was a day that Trump said that Maduro is going to be out of power real soon. Real soon. The threat was delivered. They said the oil was en route to China. And then actually days later, they said it wasn't, but that's what they said at first. Trump brought up Tren de Aragua that day. It was 74 days after the anniversary of the Jesuits being recognized by the Roman Catholic Church. A lot of rituals was 74 in Tren de Aragua. This whole drug boat thing, drug boat 47, just 1,047 rituals with Trump. Remember, we're back in Venezuela. This was going on during the Bush administration, trying to remove Hugo Chavez, and he was removed for 47 hours. Now, in the time of number 47, Maduro is being removed, who took office after Chavez was removed. Chavez said he was removed with a cancer weapon. By the way, look at when this 47 hours thing happened. Tensions worsened on April 7th. So 4-7 or 7-4. Okay. And by the way, when we seized the drug boat, it was in the 47th week of the Trump administration. The 47th week. Amazing. Okay. So, yeah, the new president, Delcy Rodriguez, she's 56. Attention, big tip bimbo. See, that's what's wrong with people. When I first met the big tip bimbo, the first lesson I gave her was on 56, and her response was, "This is kind of like schizophrenic." Schizophrenic. Oh, for recognizing a pattern that's been used to shape all the major events of recent world history and again, the beginning of this country with the 56 signers on the Declaration of Independence. But then the very next day, a young football player of the Dallas Cowboys, the most popular sports in America, the 56th pick of the draft, is dead at 24 days after Jerry Jones's birthday. And I just told her the day before, watch out for 56. It's a high ritual number. So now we get this Catholic educated, studied in Paris, France, Delcy Rodriguez installed at 56. And if you guys don't know, the Jesuits were created in Paris, France. Remember when the whole Cooties 19 thing was going on, locking down the world over the flu? Remember the Wuhan lab established in 1956? It was built by some Frenchies from Paris, France. Yes, it was. Look it up. The whole. If you guys don't know all of Cooties 19, here, you should just read my book. To get caught up, just read my book. Came out in the middle of 2020. Told you they'd wind their scam down as soon as the year of the tiger came around, which is exactly what they did. Probably one of the greatest predictions in the history of the world, to be perfectly honest. But we have a lot of them. Anyway, the word Pope. Remember, it's 52 days after the Superior General's birthday, but realize Pope is also 56. Pope's also 11, the master number. They're going to give it address the nation at 11 on this whole ritual sync with the Pope and the Superior General. Just realize these are the collection of numbers right here. And the Society of Jesus, a.k.a. the Jesuits, who were formed in Paris, France, who moved the capital in the United States to Washington, D.C. It didn't start there. That's where the Jesuits moved it to. They got their new leader at age 56. And don't forget, Trump's Jesuit educated too. Just like how Cooties 19 started 56 years after his Jesuit education began in New York at Fordham. But look at it. Assumed office on Trump's birthday, June 14th, and now installed by the 13 organization, the CIA, which operates the 13 stripes today. And just a perfect ritual. Again, her birthday is the 138th day of the year, and she was installed on Trump's birthday. Donald Trump and Federal 138. Look at the orange clown. It looks almost just like the mask Macaulay Culkin gets at the beginning of Home Alone 2, right after his Donald Duck toy. And again, 135 days before her birthday. I mean, what could be more perfect? Also, if you measure from today to the anniversary of her being installed as the VP, which is also Trump's birthday. It's a span of 163 days. Again, her name with the Spanish characters is null, and just her first and last name is 163. And that's the 38th parallel in DC. Excuse me. 163 is the 38th prime number. Those are numbers that can only be divided by one of themselves. And DC, Washington, D.C., is on the 38th parallel north. So this place that they attacked, again, it's the same base that was attacked during the coup. This was just days ago, in case you forgot this one already. Up here in the United States of Amnesia, I highly doubt anyone remembers this decode from a few days ago. But yeah, on 12/29, Trump addressed the nation that we had attacked Venezuela with CIA drones on Christmas Eve. What could be more Catholic-y? Again, the only reason anybody's celebrating anything on 12/25 is because of the Catholic Church. But yeah, if you guys are new here, 12/29, 201st prime, 201's the highest venerated number by the Jesuits. The words in the CIA's logo, Central Intelligence Agency, United States of America, 201. The motto of the CIA, the work of a nation, the center of intelligence, 201. Again, the CIA was established in history on the 201st day of the Pope's age at the time, Pope Pius XII. National intelligence is 201, like Catholic Pope, like the Jesuit order. And again, just a gazillion rituals with the Jesuits in 201 over the years. I wouldn't even be surprised if there's a big fat 201 in this ritual, and I just didn't find it yet. I didn't look too hard. I just got up. But yeah, when Trump addressed the nation, it was 47 days after the Superior General's birthday. Again, the CIA's existed since 47. From the CIA, from their anniversary of establishment until Trump's address was 102 days. The text Art of War is credited to the Jesuit. Well, it's really credited to Sun Tzu, but there's no proof a Sun Tzu ever existed. Again, the Jesuit order's logo is the sun, but the reason people know about the text is because of the Jesuit priest, Father Amiot, who translated it and had it massively republished in 1772. Right before this nation was created, and we've been at war ever since. And actually, I realized that something I overlooked here with the Maduro removal. Nicolas Maduro Moros. So, with these Spanish names, you can look at it both ways. You can look at it without the Spanish characters counted, and you can look at it with. Notice that from the CIA's establishment, September 18th, 2025 to today, it's the 108th day of the agency's age, right? And his name does have that connection to 108 as well. If you didn't count the span of days, it'd be 107 days later, which also matters because military is 107. A military intervention on behalf of Team America World Police to bust this man for supposedly funneling drugs, when if he has, he's probably been doing it under CIA orders, because that is the biggest pusher of drugs across the world. Pretty much every empire, going back to the Greeks, the Romans, they've controlled Afghanistan because it's the biggest growing area for poppies in the world, and opioids are drugs that give people a lot of power. Again, you want to make a lot of money real quick in an evening, get away with a nice drug transaction. And the U.S., with its military operations all across the world, it's got a lot of bills to pay. Nothing pays the bills in this world like drug dealing, and anybody who's ever been in the business knows that is 1,000,000% true. So, again, for people who don't know this pattern either, 1963, JFK assassinated. That led to the U.S. going into Vietnam, another big opioid producing place. And out of Vietnam came an opioid culture, heroin, a lot of drug use that wasn't common in the United States or other parts of the world. And by the way, if you don't know, the Vietnam War had a lot to do with Paris, France as well. In the times they weren't so involved in the war, that's when the U.S. got involved in the war and vice versa. But anyway, that war had a lot to do with opioids and drugs. 19 years after 1963, remember the moon. Yeah, by the way, about 19, you guys. Notice it's in Caracas too, right? Or we bombed today. The moon has a 19-year cycle. By the way, today, man, it is the day of a full moon, you guys. January 3rd. Today's the full moon. When is the full moon in 2026? It's today. Hold on. In January of 2026. Look, it's today. So we're doing this with a full moon, right? Moon. The moon is on a 19-year cycle. So coming back to my point, 1963, 19 years later is when Reagan declares the drug war. And yeah, Nixon did declare a drug war, but it wasn't as consequential as Reagan's. Reagan's is the one that really started targeting black people with long prison sentences, and that's why we've been building prisons rapidly ever since. You know, you've heard that stat about how in the U.S. we build more prisons than schools by a huge margin. It's all of these thanks to the policies that came in 19 years later, targeting poor people, black people, to put them in cages and turn them into slave labor through the drugs that were funneled into these communities, no doubt by the CIA. So that was 19 years later, the war on drugs. First, it was the war on JFK to get into a war that helped bring a major drug culture. And think about how many, if you haven't looked into Vietnam, how many soldiers that were disproportionately black and put into the worst situations. And imagine, too, the worse the situation. Imagine getting hooked on opioids because you got your limbs blown off or suffered some severe injuries. And then imagine coming back as you barely lived through the war. And now you bring this culture of opioids into your community again. All these things are connected. But again, 63 to 82, 19 years later. Then what's 19 years after 82? Oh, it's 2001. That's where we blow up the towers. And then we blame it on the man in the cave. And then we go searching all over the Middle East, killing all these people and bring back all the opioids in Afghanistan. Again, we killed the Taliban who got rid of opioid production. And then next thing you know, there's an opioid crisis across the world. The Sackler family's getting richer than ever. Rudy Giuliani is protecting the Sackler family, the same Giuliani who helped hype up the war against Muslims in the Middle East, another Catholic Jesuit-educated criminal who's still breathing, unfortunately. Don't forget, Giuliani was if you guys don't know this, Giuliani was the 107th mayor of New York, and 9/11 happened on the 107th day of his age, and then we went into Afghanistan on 10/7, like 107. But okay, so 19 hijackers blamed for 9/11, 19 years after the war on drugs, and now we really upped the drugs. Now there's just like opioids like crazy across the world. And then 19 years after 2001, it's Cootie's 19. And now the drug companies are making record profits off the policies being implemented across the world. So, I mean, if you can't follow a pattern like that, which again is based on the 19-year cycle of the moon, and here we are on the day of a full moon, and we're going into Caracas 19. You know, the moon also has a 13-month cycle too, right? So the moon's got the 19-year cycle and the 13-month cycle. If you don't know, every 19 years, the moon appears in the same place in the sky that it was 19 years earlier. That's why the Jewish holidays, they all fall on the same exact day every 19 years. Only every 19 years. So like Rosh Hashanah, all these things, Yom Kippur, they'll be on the same day that they were on 19 years earlier. And if you want to see kind of how history repeats, check out what happened 19 years ago. What were they doing with Hugo Chavez 19 years ago? It was like, let me see. Maybe go back and look at what they were doing with poor Hugo. Hugo was installed on April 14th, like Jesuit Order 144. Born in 54, like Jesuit Order 54. But yeah, 2007 was probably up near the. There was definitely a lot of chaos going on between the United States and Venezuela in that time period. I'd have to go back. It's been a minute. I got that United States amnesia too. Oh, we got the big dog in the room. The big dog's here. What's up, big dog? Is the raccoon not on? How come you're over here?
The raccoon. You're a funny dude, Zach.
Is he not a
Um,
raccoon? What is he, big dog?
he's just a regular dude that come on
He
YouTube and
just a regular
entertain
dude? How many
folks.
dudes did you know when we were growing up, since we're around the same age, that were just calling people that look like you, who are like you? He looks like you. How many people like that look like you were going around calling people that look like you the ER word outside of
Man,
Clayton Bigsby on the Dave Chappelle show?
let me tell you something, Zach. I grew up in New York City. We had a lot of what we call alternative blacks in the neighborhood that wanted to be like you. You understand what I'm saying? So
I don't
it is
understand what you're saying.
what I'm saying is you had a lot of blacks that wanted to be white and would refer to black people with the hard ER. We used to call them alternative blacks. You know, blacks that weren't comfortable in their skin. But that's not why I came up here. I came up here to ask you a question. But
Okay.
first, thank you for acknowledging that Nixon started the war on drugs. I ain't want your audience to think I was
Yeah,
just
and I just want to
making
make a point
stuff
about
up.
this too, BD. So he did it in 71, right? African
Yes.
American 71. And then 11 years later, they took it to a whole new level and started putting people like you in cages left and right, like Blacks 11, just to make a point about that. But go ahead.
Okay, now I just wanted your audience to understand that I wasn't just making stuff up to try to like one up you or anything. Nixon did start the war on drugs, but that's not what I'm up here for. I came up here to ask you this. Will it be the Catholics or the Jews who go into Iran and capture the Ayatollah this year?
Well, we already know the answer to that. Come on, big dog.
No, I don't.
Again,
That's why I'm asking you.
the last time the CIA overthrew Iran, they literally did it on the Jesuit order's birthday, August 15th, 53. And like I was saying, today's the 53rd day of the Superior General's birthday, and Caracas equals 53. And the two world leaders in focus are Maduro and Khomeini right now. So you can see what's going on here.
So who you think is going to get there first? Is it going to be the Catholics or the Jews? Because I know it's coming.
The Jews are fleas that ride around on the back of the elephant, which is the Catholic Church. They don't get anywhere first. The Jews don't have a military. The Jews have zero military. They have no military in the world, and don't say Israel because we pay for it. Israel is a Catholic-controlled nation with Jew puppets installed, like Netanyahu.
Do you have
the only reason Israel's where it is because the Catholics wanted it there because of Temple Mount, which they control. Temple Mount, the thing we call, literally equals Catholic, and the reason that they want that is because it goes back to their whole history. The Templars used it as their headquarters when they were waging the Crusades.
the Knights Templar you referring to, right?
Of course, yeah.
That's
who the Jesuits are today. They're the Templars. That's why the Templar
Didn't
cross.
they originate in France? The Knights
What's that?
Templar? Did they not originate in France? The Knights Templar.
Well, they were burned at the stake in France. I'm not sure that their actual origins are France. I mean, I could double check all that. The Templar history goes way back, but they were destroyed in France. And that's also part of the reason the Jesuits came to power in France, to resurrect the Templar agenda, if you will.
What was the Templars and the Masonic stuff? The Masons, aren't they intertwined?
Of course they are.
Can you explain to me how they're intertwined? Because I don't really know. I know they are intertwined, but I don't know exactly how they are intertwined.
If you look into who wrote the rites of modern Freemasonry, it's mostly Jesuit priests. And again, the Jesuits are essentially the continuation of the Templars. And if you look, anytime they open a new Masonic branch, there has to be somebody who's considered a Templar there. Again, there's a Templar order within modern Freemasonry. But yeah, that's one of the people that has to be there if they open a new Masonic lodge. So a Templar must be there.
So how long do you think it will take this year before they run up in Iran and grab the Ayatollah?
Well, maybe we can start looking at it, but hold on. How old is he right now? Let's see. His birthday's coming up, April 19th. April 19th, a recurring date in history, isn't it? What happened in April 19th in history?
I'm not sure. You tell me.
You can't think of any big events in April 19th?
Now, see, my birthday, April 18th. So I'm thinking about my birthday.
Go figure. That's my dad's birthday, too. You got Waco on that day. You got OKC. You got the American Revolution. The other year, Canada lost their gun rights on that day. He's 86 right now. Seems like a good time to get rid of him. So it's probably not too far off.
And my last question for you before I go, do you think that the Maduro capture will affect how China thinks about invading Taiwan?
No. All of this stuff has, maybe you should go back and watch the video from the beginning. This is all just high theater and ritual. Again, all of these nations are controlled by the Jesuits. This new president was installed as the VP on Trump's birthday back in 2018. Do you find that weird?
Yeah, I do, actually.
Yeah, because it's all just one big joke.
Because I was thinking more along the lines of they just want to get some oil out this country. The country's oil rich. We like oil here, and they just needed a reason to go get that oil.
If you
so you changed the regime.
BD, if you watched Fox News the night that we took the oil tanker, Fox News, their top two stories were how oil prices had hit a 3-year low, and we took the oil tanker all on the same day. And I just thought, how do people not get the jokes that are going on here? Come on, man.
You got a rough audience, Zach. Your audience rough. Why they coming? Why they coming at me like that? I came up here to ask you a serious question.
Because my
question not serious?
We don't like what the raccoon does. If it was the Wild West, we'd throw the raccoon and his audience in a wood chipper. That's why, BD. We're not playing around what we're doing. I'm not getting on here and dinking off and talking about porn stars all day and trying to create a race war like the raccoon does. I'm trying to get rid of some evil shit that's fucking us all in the ass every day. And you guys sit over there and energize and cheer on that fucking piece of shit known as the raccoon. That's why, BD.
Well, we all like to be entertained, Zach. Everybody, and just because you don't like the entertainment, don't
want to be entertained while a fucking war is going on and we're all getting fucked in the ass. That's the problem with America.
Well, it's gonna be war regardless, Zach. It's an evil world that we live in. We're gonna have war regardless of what.
That's a dumb answer.
Again, my question: how long do you?
Here's the only war worth fighting. The one to get rid of these evil fucks that rule over us. See what they do to people like you, BD, and you've even admitted it. They'll blow up some towers in New York, tell you a big lie, motivate your ass to come join their evil mercenary force, and then go kill a bunch of innocent people. Those are the wars you guys keep getting suckered into, not the war that needs to happen to get rid of these worthless fucks. Do you like Donald Trump? Your raccoon leader does. Do you like Donald Trump?
No, I'm not. I'm anti-Trump. That was the reason why I first came on CT show, because I'm not into Trump. I hate Donald Trump. I'm probably the most anti-Donald Trump person on that show. I can't stand Donald Trump. I've never liked Donald Trump. And, I've been accused of having TDS and all that, but I didn't like Donald Trump in the fucking 80s, long before, he ever, made his foray into politics. I've never been a fan of Donald Trump. I'm anti-Trump. I'm not anti-Republican. I'm just anti-Trump.
Hold on. Oprah asked Trump in 1988 if he'd want to be president someday. Have you ever seen that interview from 1988?
Yeah, I did see that interview. And he said, and he also said that the Republicans was the stupid party, and that's why he chose to run with them, because he knew that they would, that they would reinforce him, that the Democrats would not.
Okay, so here's my point, though, just about how scripted things are. Trump equals 88. Trump equals 88. That's why there's 1,088 rituals with Trump over the years, including the Mar-a-Lago raid on 8/8. This year, the Pope dies at 88 on the 312th day of Trump's age. You know what city is the 312 area code?
No.
Chicago. Where's Oprah's show out of?
Chicago. That I do.
Right. And then look at all this stuff that happens after Trump gets 312 electoral college votes. First of all, they killed Tony Todd, the actor who plays Candyman. He died the same day that the election was called for Trump this time. Candyman's set in Chicago, right?
Yes.
So they kill a black man, which is par for the course. That's what they do. And then you get all these hoaxes like Charlie Kirk from Chicago, this little racist Catholic piece of shit, Nick Fuentes from Chicago. His images out there everywhere. Everyone's sharing his shit. Then the Pope dies on the 312th day of Trump's age, and we get the first American Pope from Chicago. Doesn't all this seem a little bit too weird?
It is coincidental, I would think.
Coincidental means that there's nothing to it other than just coincidence.
There maybe it's chance. It could be a whole number of things. I don't know everything, Zach. I don't claim to be the smartest motherfucker out here.
Trying to entertain yourself and educate yourself. But anyway, have a good day, BD. What's up, Jared Bailey?
How's it good when you hear me?
Yeah, what's up, man?
Well, this all makes me think about another war in South America. 19 years before 2001, the same cycle, there was the Falklands War versus Argentina. That it was a 74-day undeclared war between the UK and Argentina over the Falkland Islands, the future home of Pope Francis. Falkland Islands is 266, I do believe. I'm riffing here.
It ended on Trump's birthday.
Huh?
It ended on Trump's birthday.
Yes, it ended on Donald. And what's interesting about that is who's president down there now? Another guy that's a big Trumper, and he ran off MAGA as well.
Yeah.
And the British casualties, they say, was 255 military, 3 civilians, so 258, like number of the beast. And I believe the 74 days actually works out to 2 months, 16 days, like 216. What else is there? I'm trying to think.
About the 53 thing, I started thinking about this too, because 53 years ago is when we overthrew Chile on September 11th. And that was also a CIA action.
Yes.
So,
and when Trump announced when he bombed the port, he was next to Netanyahu. And I'm not sure exactly. I know that once the Zionists went into Israel, a lot of the Palestinians that fled went to South America, just like the Nazis did too, actually. But it's I would like to get your eyes on that, because I think there's more to the. And of course, Prince Andrew, and all the crap with him and Epstein and stuff. But he supposedly fought in that war, which was a big joke if you look into it. Supposedly he was flying a helicopter around trying to draw missile fire and exocet missile decoy. Exocet missile is 201 too, by the way. But these missiles weren't designed to hit moving targets or anything like that. They were designed to hit. If you look into them, they were designed to hit, land-based or whatever. They're not flying a helicopter around trying to draw missile fire. It's a fucking joke. But yeah, 74-day war, home of Pope Francis. I know there's definitely more to it, and it's on the same 19-year cycle as 2001, 2020.
Isn't it funny how it's just the same numbers over and over all throughout history?
Yes, it's ridiculous.
What are we going to do about these people that just think everything's a coincidence, Jared? Can we do anything about it?
I don't know. I don't know. And it's tougher for you because you're trying to. It's tough just talking to people around me, let alone trying to put it out for everyone. A lot of people, they just won't. It's beyond them. I don't know if the answer is to just try to get them to see just enough, but I don't know. Because they're never going to be able to go as deep as we've gone. Maybe I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong.
But yeah, great point, though, about the Falklands War and June 14th, just that recurring date. It's the flag's birthday. It's Trump's birthday. It's now the day in history that the new president of Venezuela was installed as the vice president the first time Trump was in office. So,
and the Argentinian president is a big MAGA guy too.
Right.
And then, of course, bringing up the 56 again.
And pretty soon Argentina is going to be hoisting that cup in New York. So.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah.
And then as far as, Pope Francis and 56 going back to what you were saying earlier, just to remind everybody that he died 56 weeks after the Francis Scott Key Bridge fell on 26/3, the 56 prime. It's over and over again. It's maddening.
It is. It is. It is. Yeah.
But yeah, I would. Yeah, I think you should look into that more. I'd like to see what your take is on it, because I know there's probably more there too.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I'll look
All right.
into it more.
All right. Have a good one.
All right. Appreciate it, man. Thanks, Jared. What's up, Jacob? Jacob. Hello, Jacob.
Oh, hold on.
You're up. Oh, Jacob was in and out. What's up, punk rock?
Hey, Zach. So,
Yo.
do you know how many weeks it is after Venezuela's founding?
Hit me.
26 weeks, exactly.
And here we are in 2026.
Mm-hmm. A big
Dollars
number.
and cents. Venezuela doesn't have a central bank, do they?
I'm not sure.
I don't think they do,
so.
because the word bank is 26.
Mm-hmm.
Let
So
me
it's
check that real
dollar.
quick. I don't think they do have a central bank. Or I'm wrong. Actually, they do have a central bank. Okay, never mind.
Mm-hmm. And going with that other color, mentioned the Resident Evil. Oh wait, that was actually a couple of days ago. Mentioning Resident Evil and how there could be another pandemic potentially this year. Well, virus is 26 as well.
I brought that up the other day. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I just wanted to call in about that 26. Seems perfectly synced, and especially with this being the third day of the year, start 26. You're 26.
And it's funny. It's that 356 thing too. If you spell out 3, it's 56. We get a new 56-year-old president on this day.
Mm-hmm. And he began his third term. He's in his third term.
Oh, Maduro.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. That also makes sense.
Mm-hmm. And then just the 13 ritual going on. You know, the nation that began with 13 colonies.
13 stripes. CIA 13 land. Yep.
Mm-hmm. All right. That's
All
all I
right.
was calling.
All right. Appreciate it. All right. If we have anybody else out there that would like to contribute, now's the time. Oh, we got Jacob back. What's up, Jacob?
Hey, man, sorry, my StreamYard decided to cut out as soon as I joined the stream last time.
It's all good.
Kind of piggybacking off of what the last guy was saying, I'm seeing a lot of parallels, like even you were mentioning the other day, between 2020 and 2026. Because I'm sure maybe you brought it up. I don't know, because I just joined the stream a few minutes ago. In 2020, January 3rd is when we took out Soleimani, and then waking up this morning to this Maduro news it reminded me of that right away.
Okay.
Same date, 6 years later, and then you got COVID is 26, virus is 26. And definitely see a lot of parallels between the 2 years so far.
Yeah. Yeah.
But while the guy from CT's, the idiot from CT's chat was on here, he was asking about the Ayatollah, and so I looked it up, and it is the perfect year for the current Ayatollah to be taken out, because they were saying his son, I guess, is second in line, and his son is 56 years old right now.
There you
So
go.
it would make perfect sense, and his son's name equals 56, and the most pure also equals 88.
86-year-old, and then install another guy who's 56. This is unbelievable.
Yeah, and the guy's name equals 88.
Yeah, yeah. Another
Same
Trump
with-
accomplishment. Man, Trump, he's amazing.
Yeah, it's great. It's exhausting. I don't know how you do it day after day, talking to these fucking idiots.
Well, it is exhausting.
I try to teach people too. There's got to be some kind of like mind virus or whatever that's blocking people from understanding.
Well, he said it perfectly. He's like, listen, man, we like to be entertained. It's like, yeah, I know that. That's the problem with Americans. It's like they don't want to do anything serious. They just want to sit back and watch football games and wrestling and movies and play with themselves. And it's pathetic, man.
Yeah, while we get fucked.
Yeah.
And it doesn't. When I found your work back in 2019, I was only 17 years old, and it clicked for me right away. And that's kind of hearing other people's arguments just kind of showed me. Not even, I don't want to be like arrogant or anything, but we have to be on a different level. It makes no sense.
And it's not even that we're on that high of a level. It's just that we're not fucking retards, and these people are. And that's what I've always said.
Yeah. I don't know. Have you ever found that there's like one example that really wakes people up, or that really shows people that it's undeniable, or
You know,
is
what
it
I
always?
find is that when I'm in person talking to people, they seem to get it. And the question is, are they just faking it because we're in person? It doesn't seem like it. It seems like they genuinely get it. But like I've said, sometimes if I'm giving them one clear example and then I try to go to another, I can tell that I almost always lose that person. Like they can only stick with one thought or one idea for the moment. But you know, it's like all my neighbors. My neighbors know what I do, and they all get it for the most part. And two of them are super interested. They'll come over and ask me things when there's news events. Like, hey, what's up with this? And so I don't know. I mean, I think sometimes just being online, it's not the best place in a sense to share information because there are a lot of idiots out here and low attention spans, and people mostly probably are online to be entertained. I mean, like I always say, I mean, look at entertainment versus knowledge. You can go to a library and check out books for free that are full of some of the most amazing thoughts and ideas ever written down. It's free. Go to some shitty concert. Hey, Taylor Swift's in town. Go blow your whole bankroll to listen to some mediocre ass musician because she's promoted on TV. That costs a fortune. It's just our values are all out of sync. I mean, I don't know how to make sense of it.
Yeah, I found the most success honestly playing to people's emotions, because that's how everybody works. Like back in 2020, I had some success on Twitter trying to teach people about it. I ended up with like about 20,000 followers within a few months doing it. Just playing to people's emotions, because COVID was the hot topic at the time. Everybody was all emotional about it, and so it was easy to get a bunch of right wingers who were anti-vax and against the masks and all that. But then when you bring up Trump and how he's a part of the
Right.
show too, they just
Yep.
their brains
Yep.
just malfunction.
Yep, they do. I've told the same story before because where I was living in from 2018 to the middle of 2022, there was a landscaper who worked in that neighborhood, and he was a nice guy, and he had this huge his whole truck had fancy Donald. He spent so much of it. He can't be that wealthy of a guy's landscaper, but he spent so much money with all this fancy Donald Trump artwork all over his truck. And I was teaching him about this and just showing him all the Biden stuff at the time. This while Biden was the president, and he was totally into it. And then I got to the big, pivot point. I said, "Now you know who else operates by this exact same code?" And he's like, "Who?" And I said, "Donald Trump." And man, just instantly he took a step backwards. I still remember to this day what he did. Took a step backwards, reached in his back pocket, pulls out his phone, turns his back to me, and it goes, I got to go take care of something. And it's just like, look at this shit, man. You can't even tell these people anything because we're talking about a guy who probably spent $50,000 in paintings and artwork on his truck for Trump. But that's what's sad too. It's just like these people that just like a landscaper, a guy who probably makes a modest income and sends nearly half of it to this corrupt government. He just couldn't possibly even hear that his favorite puppet was also in on the same code. So.
No, because their whole identity is tied up in these people. Trump is their god, and so if Donald Trump is part of the show and he's a puppet too, then their whole life has been a lie.
Yeah,
and they can't process that.
All right. Hey, do you have information to share? Actually, I'm going to put you and Kiwi up here. I have to go run and help out with something. I'll be back in 1 minute, but you guys are welcome to share information. I'll be right back.
You got anything? I got nothing while he's gone.
Yeah, sorry, mate. I wasn't taking notice. What was your name again? I can't see the screen.
Jacob.
Jacob. I was just going to talk to Zach about the name Venezuela actually means Little Venice, the water city in Italy. The port. Do you know much about that, Venice?
You said Venus?
Venice.
Not too much. I'm definitely interested in what you have to say about it, though. That's an interesting connection.
Well, yeah. So Venezuela means Little Venice, and that's where the Papa Bull families had their shipping port. The Phoenicians turned into the Venetians. And he mentioned April the 19th earlier. I didn't catch on because I'm working and listening in the background. But April the 19th, it was 1541. That's when Ignatius of Loyola became the superior general of the Society of Jesus, the Jesuits. I know they were formed in 1534, but they didn't get the Papa Bull which recognised them as a order until 1540 by Pope Paul III. And then 1 year later, on August the 19th, that's when Ignatius of Loyola got his superior general recognition. But I really have to go now because I'm actually at work. So, yeah, that's about all I've got to say. Okay, thank you, guys.
Thank you, Kiwi. We also have Heidi in the back. Jacob, was there any more you wanted to share?
No, it was just not specific information, just kind of chatting like we were before. But if anybody else has information, I'll hop off so they can get in what they got to get.
All right. Appreciate it, Jacob. You have a good day.
You too.
All right. Heidi, you got to hit the unmute button. Heidi,
can you hear me?
Can we hear you? Hello?
What's up, Zach?
Yeah, what's going on?
Hey, I just wanted to say I've been watching you since about 2022. I don't even remember how I got into this work. I think it was, I just came across, I think on Twitter one time, a random tweet just popped up in my feed about, it was an MLB playoff game. And it just said that this guy was going to hit a home run, right? Because of, you know, he had the number alignment and whatnot. So I was like, huh, that's interesting. So I waited for the game to start and nothing happened. Well, I don't remember who the player was, but he came up to bat and you could just tell like it was a play. I think it was like a Dodger playoff game. And he came up to bat, and as he was walking up, you know, it was just like the camera was like panning on him as he was walking up, and he hits a home run first pitch, and I couldn't believe it. So kind of made me dig deeper, and then that's when I found you and like Itachi and stuff. And you know, I had the Nuggets 2023. I won like $30,000 on the Nuggets in the finals. But yeah, besides that, you know, I think I deal with a lot of the same stuff that everybody else does, you know, when you try to share this knowledge. And yeah, that's frustrating. But even in my area, I've been looking at my local news, and on New Year's Day, it's happened actually, I think every year in the same city, but they announced on New Year's Day that there was a 17-year-old stabbing. And they didn't release his name, but I later found it. But yeah, that was crazy. And then they announced too in my area that a policeman retires after 33 years, and he was like the sergeant.
For people
And
who don't
even
know, 33, Masonry 33, Secrecy 33, Federal 33, Order 33. Again, the Fraternal Order of Police is Masonic. It just, yeah, it's funny watching it.
yeah, even his name equaled, I think, like 58. I want to say like Secret Society, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, for anyone that thinks, you know, this stuff is bull crap, you know, I mean, I saw Itachi one time, he predicted an earthquake. I mean, how can you do that? And
You
one
must
time
not
we
follow
even
me that much. You must not follow me that much. I mean, we had 2 dates circled the other year for earthquakes in California. They hit both dates, and we've done that a whole bunch of other times too. The guy who's known for covering earthquakes, he made fun of me back in 2017 for circling a date for an earthquake where it landed perfectly by the exact numbers I pointed out that should show up in even the Richter scale that day. And what's that guy's name? Dutch Sense, another YouTube shill. But yeah, I mean, we've been doing, 2020, I circled every date to expect hurricanes. And that was like 8 dates we circled. All but one of them a hurricane landed on. I mean, we've done beyond amazing over here. This should be the most viral work on the internet.
Absolutely. Whenever I see people, you know, just talking about, like, they claim it's like the Trump community is just hilarious. They claim to be like truth and this and that. And it's just, but you show them this, it's like, how do people get in school? They're super smart in school, right? They got all A's in fucking any algebra class, geometry. They're so good at math in school, but you show them this and it's like, huh? What do you mean? What do you mean that equals 33? What the fuck is that? It's like, are you fucking retarded? But that's where the frustration kind of comes in, and it's like, wow. I remember it's like you got all A's in school, but you show them this and it's like they go blank. You know?
Yeah, because they're programmed. It messes with their program.
Yeah. But anyway, I'll let you go. So, but I love what you do. Just keep on going. And yeah, hopefully, I don't know, hopefully we can see the change that we want, but it's going to take a lot more people.
Yeah, it's going to take a lot more people, that's for sure. All right, guys.
Yeah. But
Appreciate
anyway,
it.
yep.
All right, man.
Bye.
Have a good one. All right, this girl, she likes to be active. She's ready for her morning dance party. So, you want to touch that light? Is that what it is? Look, you can touch it. You can touch it. See, bright light. Yeah, bright light. Okay. All right. Yeah, we better wrap it up, you guys. I gotta feed her some breakfast and oh my. Yeah, we're both getting over the cold here. So, oh my goodness, bright light. Yeah. Yeah. All right, you guys, we're going to leave it there for now. And thanks again, everyone who hits the like and the share. And I got to get this girl some food. Oh, my. All right. Until next time, everybody. Have a good day. Oh, by the way, thank you, Asian253 for becoming a member. Appreciate it. All right. Until next time, everybody. Have a good day.